Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of 3 Minute Game Pass. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this Game Pass game is worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is The Medium. Blooper Team is back with another walking horror game with light puzzle elements, The Medium. Is it worth taking a stroll into the afterlife for some scares? Let's find out. The Medium is an Xbox and PC cross-release. However, on Xbox, it is worth noting this is a Series X or S game only. It also cross-saves with PC, but it is pretty demanding. Other than that, this game doesn't feature any upgrades, and its playtime is about 8 to 10 hours long. So what exactly is The Medium? Well, The Medium is an exploration walking game with some very light adventure game elements, such as item puzzles. Its core mechanic is that the main character, Marianne, is a medium, and as such is often pulled into situations where she exists in one world and not the other, or both simultaneously. This is incorporated into the puzzles as oftentimes you'll have a door in the real world, but it'll be obstructed in the spirit world, and since she's in both at once, you'll have to find another way around, or to open that obstruction. She can also have an out-of-body experience for a limited time and go completely into the spirit world, but that's only temporary to solve certain puzzles. As you explore the Niwa Workers Resort in Poland, you'll encounter not only ghosts you can't move on, but horrible monsters you'll either have to exorcise or run from, or hide in some light stealth elements. Basic gameplay is mostly explorative walking with some light body swapping puzzles and even fewer item puzzles. The game usually shepherds you where to go next. So all in all, it's a very story-driven, somewhat spooky exploration game with a few puzzle elements and an interesting real spirit world mechanic. So what do I like about The Medium? Well, I think the game looks absolutely fantastic, especially the environmental design. This is for both the real world and the spirit world, but it has extremely high graphical fidelity, and because it has a fixed camera angle for most of it, the developers and the art designers really got to kind of focus in on what they want you to see, which I really appreciate. It reminds me of those old Silent Hill or Resident Evil type games. And speaking of Silent Hill, the music in this game was written by Akira Yamaoka of Silent Hill fame, and it's fantastic. Akira wrote the Spirit World music, while a Blooper Team Normal wrote the regular music, and it's fantastic also. And lastly, the Spirit World mechanic leads to some fairly clever puzzles and scenarios. A lot of them I didn't see coming, and overall kind of really spiced up what might have been a little bit of a bland puzzle situation. When it comes to the bad, I do feel like this game holds your hand through pretty much every puzzle and every piece of exploration, which makes every solved puzzle feel like a bit of a gimme. It's not a brain teaser, and it doesn't really let off the training wheels throughout the entirety of the game. Secondly, even on Series S and X, this game has a lot of performance problems. I found frame rate problems, but mostly resolution issues. This game has dynamic resolution to try and keep it at 30 FPS, but on the Series S, that means the resolution drops down to SD quality in some demanding situations, no joke. And lastly, the story goes some pretty dark places: pedophilia, rape, psychological trauma, and even the Holocaust, but it doesn't really do anything with that would live up to the expectations of including those types of things in your story and doing it justice. And the ending in particular is a massive letdown. It feels like the college art film ending of a movie, and it's just really not great. As you know, I rate games here on a must-play, maybe consider, don't bother rating. This is definitely a maybe consider. The Medium is a blooper game, and if you've played any of their previous games, you'll know whether you like them or not. It has an interesting story that unfortunately doesn't quite live up to its lofty ambitions, and is light on actual gameplay. However, I do feel that the game's rich atmosphere, fantastic environmental design, and great soundtrack make it worth trying out if you're into a light game with very mild horror elements. It's a great game for Game Pass, but I don't know if I'd suggest buying it if it weren't on the platform. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and go out there and enjoy The Medium.